بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
محاضرة اليوم عن ال contact lenses وهنتكلم فيها عن their types how to use and their complications. طيب تعالوا ناخد فكرة عن ازاي هنقسم ال contact lenses. أول حاجة هنقسمها على حسب ال function بتاعتها. Example of this: contact lens used for correction of refractive error, either spherical or toric. Contact lens used for correction of presbyopia, either multifocal or monovision. Other types of vision correction for those with certain color deficiency: cosmetic contact lenses, therapeutic scleral lenses for dry eye and keratoconus, and therapeutic soft lenses used for bullous keratopathy, corneal abrasions and erosions. تاني حاجة على حسب الماتيريال بتاعت الكونتاكت لينس، سواء كانت rigid contact lens أو soft lens. تالت حاجة الوير سكيدجل، سواء كانت daily wear أو extended wear. رابع حاجة والأخيرة replacement schedule، سواء كانت single use اللي هي daily أو disposable lens اللي هي every 2 weeks أو frequent replacement اللي هي monthly أو traditional or reversible اللي هي every 6 months.
Contact lenses وجد إن 51% of US adults use some kind of vision correction، وإن ربع العدد ده اللي هو حوالي 30 مليون are using contact lenses. طيب هنبص للرسمة اللي فوق دي، في شوية مصطلحات لازم نبقى عارفينها. أول حاجة إيه هو البيس كيرف اللي هو أنا معلم عليه ده؟ هو عبارة عن curvature of the central posterior surface أو radius of the sphere of the back of the lens, and it range from 8 to 10 millimeters. Most patients range from 8.5 to 8.7 millimeters. And the lower the number of base curve, the steeper the curve of the cornea and the lens, and vice versa. طيب تاني حاجة ال diameter اللي هو ده. ايه هو ال diameter of the contact lens؟ هو عبارة عن ال width of the contact lens which typically varies with the lens material. يعني في حالة ال soft contact lens ال diameter varies from 13 to 15 mm، وفي حالة ال rigid gas permeable contact lens varies from 9 to 10 mm. طيب ايه هو الباور؟ الباور ده بيتقاس بالديوبترز وبنقدر نطلعه بالسنيلز لو اللي هو عبارة عن N2 minus N1 على ال R. طيب رابع حاجة الأوبتيك زون اللي هو ده عبارة عن السنترال area having the refractive power of the lens. طيب خامس حاجة ال peripheral curve أو ال edge left اللي هو ده اللي أنا معلم عليه ده، وده عبارة عن إيه؟ عبارة عن description of the peripheral lens and its position in relation to an underlying cornea، وإن adequate edge left prevent contact lens digging into the flatter corneal periphery. طيب إيه هو ال DK؟ ال DK ده is a term describing the oxygen permeability of the lens, where D is the diffusion coefficient for oxygen in the material, and K stands for solubility constant of the oxygen in the material. طيب ايه هو ال DK على ال L؟ ده a term describing oxygen transmissibility of the lens, and it depends on the lens material and central thickness.
contact lens material، ودي هنقسمها soft contact lens و rigid gas permeable contact lens. أول حاجة هنتكلم عليها هي soft contact lens, and it was first invented by the Czech chemist Otto in 1959, and it is made of soft hydrogel polymer made of hydroxyethyl methacrylate. We also must know that oxygen permeability is related to the water content of contact lens. However, increase in the water content increase tendency of corneal hydration, and that's why it's not recommended for patients with dry eye. While in 1998, silicone hydrogel contact lens was invented, having high decay and low water content, which is used for extended wear. Other clinically important properties include light transmission, elasticity, tear resistance, chemical stability, and deposits resistance. تاني حاجة هنتكلم عليها هي ال rigid gas permeable contact lens, and it is used in less than 20% of contact lens wearers. It's made of silicone acrylate, and that's why it's rigid, and oxygen permeability is related to silicon. Newest contact lens is made of fluorinated silicon acrylate, giving it a high oxygen permeability. However, discomfort is related to the increase in the rigidity of the contact lens.
تير لينس. ايه هو التير لينس؟ لو بصينا للرسمة دي عندي هنا الكورنيا وعندي برا خالص الكونتاكت لينس، اللي ما بينهم ده هو التير لينس. طيب هو تعريفه ايه؟ هو التير فلويد بين الكونتاكت لينس and the cornea and it acts as a lens. في حالة السوفت contact lens the back surface of the contact lens fits to the anterior corneal surface، وعشان كده ال power of such fluid lens is plano. أما في حالة ال hard contact lens it acts as a lens and its power is determined by relative curvature of the back surface of the contact lens and the anterior corneal curvature. طيب وجد ان every 0.05 mm difference في الكيرفتشر هتديني ربع diopter in fluid lens power. طيب such fluid lens بتنيوتراليز أكتر من 90% of regular and irregular corneal astigmatism. كمان it neutralize the power of the steep meridian، وعشان كده لما بنيجي نعمل fitting للcontact lens بنعملها على حسب ال flat meridian مش ال steep meridian. Contact lens fitting. Concerning soft contact lens, fitting varies in only one parameter and we usually have 3 base curves. Contact lens with a report will fit 80% of the patient, is tried first and accordingly fitting is done. For good soft contact lens fit, we should have number 1, 3-point touch, corneal apex and limbus. Number 2, adequate movement from 0.5 to 1 mm on blinking or pushing up lower eyelid. And B, for tight contact lens, we should increase the base curve, and for loose contact lens, we should decrease the base curve. Concerning RGP, it has a smaller diameter, but it should be centered. It moves freely on blinking to allow tear exchange. Fitting should be individualized. RGP fitting. For an ideal fitting, we depend on first thing, base curve, in which it determines shape of the tear lens, which is important for best contact lens fitting and needed contact lens power. For selection of initial base curve, the following options are available. The first option is the apical alignment, in which the base curve is on K زي ما احنا شايفين في الرسمة اللي في النص دي اللي معلم عليها بالبوينتر. The base curve matches that of the cornea and is the most common and most comfortable. الأوبشن التاني هيبقى apical clearance الرسمة دي اللي معلم عليها بالبوينتر، والبيس كيرف هيبقى steeper than K. والأوبشن التالت عندي هيبقى الapical bearing. في الحالة دي البيس كيرف بيبقى flatter than K. طيب لو احنا بصينا للأربع رسومات اللي على الشمال دي، ده ايه؟ ده fluorescein pattern. It is the color intensity of fluorescein dye in the tear lens beneath rigid contact lens, where areas of contact appear black and green areas reflects clearance between lens and cornea. طيب لو أنا بصيت على أول رسمة معلم عليها بالبوينتر، ده fluorescein pattern ل apical alignment، والرسمة التانية دي ده fluorescein pattern ل central أو intrapapillar fit. الصورة التالتة دي ده apical clearance in which the base curve is steeper than K. الصورة الرابعة دي ده apical bearing in which the base curve is flatter than K. تاني نقطة عندي ال diameter. For an ideal fitting, diameter should be 2 mm less than corneal diameter. تالت نقطة عندي ال lens edge and it is important for tear exchange, lens position and comfort. It is thicker in apical alignment to maintain lens position under upper eyelid, and it is thinner in central fit to maintain comfort and centration. رابع نقطة عندي اللينس باور، ودي أقدر أحسبها إزاي؟ أحسبها بطريقتين. أول طريقة إن أنا أبقى عارف ال spectacle sphere power and the base curve of the RGP lens with its tear lens وأحسبهم. بس لازم ابقى حاطط in consideration ان التير لينس لو on K بيديني plano power، لو steeper بيديني plus power، ولو flatter بيديني minus power. طيب هكمبنسيت ده ازاي؟ ان لو التير لينس steeper I add minus، ولو flatter I add plus، سام وفاب. طيب example لده، لو انا عندي عيان وعارف الكي ريدنجز بتاعته، باخد الفلاتر ميريديان اللي هي في الاكزامبل ده 42.5، وبلبس العيان فلاتر كونتاكت لينس 42، وبحسب الفرق ما بين الاتنين، الديفرنس ما بينهم ال 42 و 42.5 هيديني بلس نص. احسب الكونتاكت لينس باور ازاي؟ ببقى عارف السبكتيكال باور بتاعت العيان اللي هي ماينس 3.5 في الاكزامبل ده، وحط عليه سميشن للديفرنس اللي هي بلس نص هيديني ماينس 3، يبقى الكونتاكت لينس باور ماينس 3. The other method in lens power can also be calculated empirically. ازاي؟ A trial lens of known power is placed on the eye and the over refraction is determined, and the lens power and the over refraction power are added to each other. خامس نقطة عندي البوزيشن. عندي 3 positions لل RGP fitting. أول position هو ال apical alignment. لو بصيت للصورة اللي تحت دي اللي على الشمال هي fluorescein pattern ال apical alignment, and it is most common type of RGP fit. And as we can see here that the upper third of the contact lens fits under the upper eyelid, allowing the lens to move with each blink and enhance tear exchange, decreasing in lens sensation because the eyelid does not hit the lens edge with each blink. The second position is the central or interpalpebral fit. As we can see here, the second picture, it is achieved when the lens rests between the upper and lower eyelids. To achieve this fit, lens is given a steeper fit than K in order to minimize the lens movement and keep the lens centered over the cornea. With this fit, diameter lens is smaller than apical alignment fit, base curve is steeper than K, and lens has thin edge. There is an increase in lens sensation because eyelids hits lens with each blink, and it is used in patients having astigmatism more than 1.75 diopter and astigmatism against the rule. The third position is flatter than K, and it's not used with normal eyes. سادس نقطة عندي هي الكاستم contact lens. And corneal topography is very important for proper fitting, especially with RGP lenses. Combining such designs with computerized lathes can produce custom contact lens to each specific cornea, especially high order aberrations. For good fit, 3 criteria are used to determine a good fit. The first one is the quality of vision. And vision should be stable before and immediately after a blink. Stable vision ensures that the lens is covering optical axis even when it moves with normal blinking. The second one is the lens movement and the lens position in alignment fitting. As we said before, upper third of the contact lens should be covered by the upper eyelid. Insufficient movement means that the lens is too tight, so the base curve should be flattened or larger in number, or the diameter made smaller. In excessive movement means that the lens is too loose, so the base curve should be steepened or smaller in number, and the lens diameter made larger. The third one is the fluorescein pattern, and we discussed it before. Contact lens and astigmatic correction. 20% of the US population has significant astigmatism, which is more than 0.75 diopter, and it should be corrected. Refractive astigmatism, we have 2 types of refractive astigmatism, one on the cornea called corneal astigmatism and the other on the lens called lenticular astigmatism, and it is equal to summation of both. Corneal astigmatism can be neutralized by either hard contact lens or toric soft contact lens, and it gives us no meridianal anisoconia, while lenticular astigmatism can only be corrected with soft contact lens, and it's more common seen in old age. It's against the rule and can be measured by refraction over hard contact lens. It is anticipated when the refractive astigmatism is greater than key reading astigmatism. Choosing the suitable contact lens will depend on the amount of astigmatism. If we have astigmatism less than 1 diopter, we will choose spherical soft contact lens or spherical RGP. If we have astigmatism range from 1 to 2 diopter, we will choose toric soft contact lens or spherical RGP. If the astigmatism range from 2 to 3 diopter, we will choose custom toric soft contact lens or spherical RGP. If the astigmatism is more than 3 diopter, we will choose custom toric soft contact lens or toric RGP. Toric soft contact lens. Fitting soft toric contact lens is similar to the fitting of other soft lenses, except that the lens rotation must also be evaluated. طيب في نوعين عندي من التوريك soft contact lens، يا إما front toric contact lens أو back toric contact lens. طيب how to stabilize toric soft contact lens on the cornea؟ بحاجتين. أول حاجة by adding a prism ballast on the bottom edge. لو احنا بصينا للرسمة دي هنلاقي بنحط تقيلة تحت عشان نخليها stable ومتتحركش من مكانها. تاني حاجة by creating thin zones on top and bottom. لو بصينا للرسمة دي الحتة اللي فوق التوب والحتة اللي تحت في البottom بنخليها thin zone عشان stabilize contact lens by eyelid pressure. طيب how to check proper fit of astigmatic X؟ لو احنا بصينا للرسمة دي هنلاقي كل التوريك soft lenses فيها مارك. المارك دي بيبقى عند الساعة 6 ودي ملهاش علاقة بالاستجماتيك اكس. طيب هنعرف منين ان الاستجماتيك اكس ده مظبوط؟ هنلبس العيان الكونتاكت لينس ونشوف العلامة المارك دي بتاعت الساعة 6 موجودة فين، وهنطبق الرول اللي هو لارس اللي هو left add و right subtract عشان نعرف ال correct cylindrical axis of refraction. طيب هنأد ايه و subtract ايه؟ مفروض زي ما احنا قلنا ان المارك دي تبقى عند الساعة 6 وكل ساعة من الساعة 6 دي ب30 درجة. يعني لو العيان لابس الكونتاكت لينس والمارك دي موجودة عند الساعة 7 يبقى هنعمل add ل30 درجة. طيب لو المارك دي موجودة عند الساعة 5 يبقى هنعمل subtract ل30 درجة. Correcting presbyopia with contact lens. There are 4 options available for these patients. The first option is using a reading glasses over contact lens. The second option is bifocal contact lens. The third one is simultaneous vision contact lens. And the fourth one is monovision contact lens. In the first option, using a reading glasses over contact lens has the advantage of being simple and inexpensive. While in the second option, bifocal contact lens or alternating vision contact lens, they are similar in function to bifocal spectacles. There are separate areas for distance and near, and retina receives light from only one image location at a time. It can be either segmented, having 2 areas, top and bottom, like bifocal spectacles, or concentric or annular, having 2 rings, one for far and one for near. In segmented contact lens, the position on the eye is critical and must change as the patient switches from distance to near vision. And the lower eyelid controls the lens position, so that as a person looks down, the lens stays up and the visual axis moves into the reading portion of the lens. While in the third option, simultaneous vision contact lens, it provides the retina with light from both distance and near points in space at the same time, requiring the patient's brain to ignore the reduction in contrast. It's either multifocal or diffractive. In aspheric or multifocal lenses, surfaces change power from the center to the periphery. In minus lenses, there are decrease in power from the center to the periphery, whereas plus lenses increases. While in diffractive lenses, the lenses has concentric grooves on its back surface, such that the light rays are split into 2 focal packages near and far. This diffractive surface reduce incoming light by 20% or more, which reduces vision in dim light. While in the last option, in monovision contact lens, it involves correcting one eye for distance and the other eye for near. Many patients tolerate this without difficulty, although some note monoocular blurring initially. Successful adaptation requires intraocular suppression, which is easier to achieve with patients who have only 1 or 1.5 diopter difference between their eyes. Typically, the dominant eye is corrected for distance, although often trial and error is needed to determine which eye is best for distance correction. Contact lens with keratoconus and abnormal cornea. Contact lenses often provide better vision than spectacles by masking irregular astigmatism. Type of contact lens used depends on: for mild or moderate irregularities, soft toric or custom soft toric contact lenses are used, while in large irregularities typically require RGP lenses to cover the abnormal surface. Fitting contact lens. With non-astigmatic eyes, fitters should first find the best alignment fit and then determine the optimal power. For larger cones, 3-point touch can be successfully used to ensure lens centration and stability. Slight apical and paracentral touch or bearing to have a lens fold slightly over the cone. The apical clearance fitting technique can also be tried. Specialized RGP for keratoconus. Number 1, RGP with steep central posterior curve and flatter peripheral curves. Number 2, larger RGP more than 11 mm with larger optical zones. Number 3, RGP with high oxygen permeability. Hybrid contact lens, which consists of RGP in the center with DK145 and outer ring made of soft lens material. It could be used for keratoconus, penetrating keratoplasty, corneal trauma, and post-refractive surgery. While in piggyback contact lens, it's another alternative where a soft lens is fitted to the cornea and the RGP lens is placed on top of it. The two lenses are used together in each eye. It's used for a very abnormal cornea that's unable to accommodate any of the previous designs. For some patients, these lenses provide good vision and comfort and preclude the need for transplant or other eye surgery. Gas-Permeable Scleral contact lens. They are entirely supported by the sclera, and so they are good to rehabilitate damaged cornea by creating artificial tear-filled space to protect diseased cornea. What are its parts? It has central optic part, which vaults cornea without touch and minimal clearance. Haptic part fits to the sclera without localized compression, and transitional part fits to the limbus. They are fluid ventilated lens because channels are created on the posterior surface of the haptic part to prevent suction of the lens onto the eye, and that's why oxygenated tear film is formed. What are its indications? First, it is used in cases of abnormal corneal astigmatism that preclude uses of the corneal RGP. Examples: pellucid degeneration, Terrian marginal degeneration, penetrating keratoplasty, and elevated corneal scars. Second, in cases of ocular surface diseases that benefit from the presence of oxygenated tear lens. Example: Stevens-Johnson syndrome and ocular cicatricial pemphigoid. Therapeutic or bandage contact lens. Therapeutic or bandage contact lens are used to enhance epithelial healing, prevent epithelial erosion, and control surface pain, and they are not used for their optical properties. Characters. First, soft contact lenses are usually used with plano power. Second, fitting principles are similar to other soft lenses, but tighter fit is used. in order to decrease movement which can injure epithelial healing. Third, they are worn on extended basis without removal to decrease irritation to the ocular surface, and therefore decay is high to prevent hypoxia. What's the aim? They promote epithelial healing and they control pain. What's the indications of therapeutic contact lens? They are used post-operative in PRK and penetrating keratoplasty. They are used also in recurrent corneal erosion, bullous keratopathy, post-chemical exposure, slow healing corneal ulcer, Bell's palsy, and eyelid abnormalities. Orthokeratology. What's orthokeratology? It refers to the process of reshaping the cornea and thus reducing myopia by wearing RGP contact lenses designed to flatten the central cornea for a period of time after the lenses are removed. The reverse geometry designs, the central part is calculated to be somewhat flatter and the intermediate zone are steeper for peripheral bearing platform, and the peripheral zones are designed to create the necessary clearance. We will also find that there is thinning in the central epithelium and cornea. For fitting, manifest refraction, K reading, and nomogram is needed. Lens centration is very important based on circumferential bearing at the junction of the intermediate and peripheral zones. We will find that the refractive change is very rapid in less than 2 weeks wear, and lens is worn only during sleep. Because the lenses are worn overnight, their oxygen transmissibility must be high. Consequently, they are generally made of very high decay material, 100 or greater. It corrects myopia up to 6 diopters plus minus 0.75 diopter astigmatism. It's also reversible. Recently, soft contact lens with steeper center and flatter mid periphery is used to correct hyperopia. Contact lens care and solutions. Most contact lenses are removed after use, cleaned, stored, and used again. So the aim is to remove deposits, enhance lens comfort, and decrease the risk of eye infection and irritation associated with lens use. It includes number 1, rinsing solution as saline, number 2, cleaner, which is enzymatic to remove protein deposits, number 3, disinfecting and storing solution, number 4, lubricating eye drops, which should be preservative free when the contact lenses are on the eye, multi-purpose solution, which is used in cleaning, disinfecting, rinsing, and storing. It's popular for its ease of use and convenience, and it's not ideal for RGP comfort. Hydrogen peroxide solution. It's also used in cleaning, disinfecting, rinsing, and storing, and the lens should be rinsed with saline before use. Contact lens related problems and complications. Corneal infections secondary to lens use are potentially serious and vision threatening. To reduce risk, contact lens should be fitted properly and lens care systems are used regularly. We're going to talk about complications concerning cornea. The first complication is infectious keratitis, and the cause can be due to poor lens fit or improper contact lens care or hygiene. Number 2, corneal abrasions. The cause can be either a foreign body under a lens, or poor insertion removal technique, or damaged contact lens. And because contact lens can increase the risk of infection, we treat abrasions with antibiotic eye drops and no patching. Number 3, punctate keratitis, which is secondary to poor lens fit, toxic reaction to solution, or dry eye. Number 4, 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock staining, which is secondary to improper RGP fit, causing abortive blink reflex, which leads to poor wetting. Treatment is refitting and regular use of wetting drops. Number 5, contact lens superior limbic keratoconjunctivitis, which is similar to superior limbic keratoconjunctivitis with injection of the superior bulbar conjunctiva and palpebral changes in the overlying upper eyelid. Discontinuing lens use leads to resolution. Number 6. Dendritic keratitis. Like herpes simplex virus keratitis, staining is less intense and with rapid resolution when contact lens is discontinued. Number 7. Corneal neovascularization, which is a sign of hypoxia, and treatment is higher decay material should be used with looser fit and decrease hours of contact lens wear. Number 8. Corneal warpage, which is a change in the corneal shape from contact lens use, with both soft and RGP lens, but more with RGP. It will resolve after contact lens discontinuation. NB treatment rules: discontinue contact lens and refit later. Number 2. Consider changing material and decay. And finally, decreased hours of contact lens wear. Complications causing red eye. Number 1. Poor fit, as tight fit, causing hypoxia, which leads to severe redness, pain, and corneal edema. Or loose fit, causing excessive movement, which leads to varying in vision and contact lens awareness. Number 2. Hypoxia, due to the use of contact lens beyond the recommended time, causing punctate staining, epithelial microcysts, corneal edema, and neovascularizations. Number 3. Deposits on the contact lens. It may be due to dry eye, ocular allergies, or poor lens care. Treatment should be: increase the rate of the lens replacement, improve lens care, and use lower water content contact lens. Number 4. Damage contact lens. Number 5. Toxic reaction or allergy to lens care solution. Number 6. Pre-existing history of systematic or ocular allergy. Treatment: discontinue contact lens, use disposable contact lens, or increase the lens replacement rate. And we should use non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs drops. Number 7. Dry eye, as tear film is essential for fluid exchange under contact lens, removal of debris, and bring oxygen. Treatment: it's better to use lower water content contact lens. Number 8. Infectious keratitis and corneal ulcers. HIV transmission. HIV has been isolated from ocular tissues, tears, and soft contact lens used by patients with AIDS. However, HIV is not transmitted by tear or contaminated contact lens. Trial contact lens could be disinfected by hydrogen peroxide. Ptosis: it's due to dehiscence of levator aponeurosis, secondary to long-term use of RGP lenses.
Contact lenses versus spectacles. Concerning field of vision, since contact lenses are closer to the entrance of pupil and lack frames, spectacle frames reduce the field of corrected vision by 20 degrees, while contact lenses provide a larger field of corrected vision and avoid much of the peripheral distortion, such as spherical aberration created by high-power spectacle lenses. Concerning image size, retinal image size is influenced by the vertex distance of a corrective lens. Since contact lenses have shorter vertex distance than do spectacles, so image size is changed less with contact lens than with spectacles. In spectacles, minus lens decrease image size, while plus lenses increase image size. In contact lens, it gives us same image size, and so it's better in anisometropia. Concerning accommodation, amplitude of accommodation equals the difference between versions of rays coming from far point and versions of rays coming from near point. These measures are taken at the anterior principal point, which is 1.33 mm behind the cornea, but practically it's at the cornea. So in metrops and contact lens, rays reach cornea from infinity is parallel, and it gives us zero versions, i.e. with contact lens accommodation effort equals that of metrops. But in myope wearing spectacle lens, rays coming from far point reach divergent by the effect of correcting lens, and so there is decrease in accommodation needed. So in contact lens, there is an increase in accommodation required in myopes, and there is decrease in accommodation required in hypermetropes.
While in convergence demand, in myopic spectacle lenses, it has base-in prismatic effect on convergence, and so it decreases convergence demand. While in hyperopic spectacle lenses, it has a base-out prismatic effect on convergence, and so increased convergence demands. While in contact lens, there is no effect on convergence. In conclusion, in myopes, accommodative and convergence demand is increased with contact lens than spectacle, while in hyperopes, accommodative and convergence demand is decreased with contact lens than spectacle.
Thank you.